Alright, and welcome guys. Now the assumption is that you're here watching this video because you've just figured out there's PvP in Ready or Not. So I'm going to show you how to install it and have fun with your friends, along with some tips and tricks on how to stay ahead of your friends and cause heaps of chaos. So stick around till the end and I'll give you my best kept secret for PvP. So let's get after it. Alright, but first things first, we've got to head over to the mod page within the game, click on mods. First thing you want to do is just head straight up to the search in the top right hand corner and just type in PvP and hit enter. The only one that's going to come up is PvP or not. As you can see, I already have it subscribed, so it is already downloaded onto my computer. Click subscribe and let it download. The next one you're going to need for PvP to work is head back over to the search bar and type in menu. Now, there's going to be a couple ones that come up, but the one you want is this one here. It's called in-game menu. Now this allows you to actually participate in PvP. Without it, you're going to make everything a lot more difficult. So subscribe to that one, wait for that to download, then back out and hit back again, which will ask you to restart Ready or Not. So give me a minute and we'll get back into it. All right, so after the game has reloaded, what you want to do is head over to multiplayer and go to host friends only, because you obviously don't want to do this on a public server. Click on that. Load in. All right, after loading in, what you want to do is go over to where your briefings take place, head up to the back of the room to this old gentleman here, and a white button should appear just as it does on screen. You hit the interact button, you will have your PvP menu. So these are the two different game mods: bomb defusal and last man standing. Now last man standing is not a free-for-all, it is a team versus team deathmatch. So 1 or 2 players, depending on how many you have, will load in as the MLO, which are the bad guys, and 1 or 2 will load in as SWAT. Now the servers do hold up to 8 for a standard squad, so the assumption is that you can have 8 players playing PvP. I have not tested the limits of PvP. The most I've had is 4 players, so 2 per team. So check it out, go through the maps. If you and your friends want to pick a different map, go for it. You have most of the maps here. There are a couple missing, but if this fails, if you get to this screen here and nothing pops up, so this old man doesn't give you the ability to interact, what you want to do is back out of the game, back over to main menu, and in main menu you should see this mod in-game menu. Click it, go over to mods here, and then up the top here it will say PvP or not. Make sure that is enabled. If it is not enabled, then this entire experience will be a lot harder for you to do. Once you do that, close it, restart your game, and then you should be all good to go. Right, now that you have PvP up and running already or not, now you need some tips and tricks and some general knowledge about PvP so you have the upper hand on your buddies. So tip number 1 I would suggest is don't use laser pointers in game. As good as they are in the actual game, they're not good for PvP. You can see them through doors. So if you're trying to sneak up on someone, it doesn't work so well. So don't use laser pointers. A little tip for that too, don't get too close to doors, as the shadow also can be seen through the door as well. Now there are different tactics you need to use for MLO and SWAT, as if you want to play SWAT or MLO specifically, MLO can't use any tactical gear. So if you spawn in with night vision goggles or a battering ram, a door camera, you can't use any of them as MLO. As SWAT, you have access to all the same tactical gear as you would as in-game. Third piece of advice to understand about PvP. The third thing to understand about PvP is that SWAT and MLO spawn differently. So SWAT will always spawn in SWAT's location as if you were playing it through normally. So there's a designated spawn point for SWAT, but there is no designated spawn point for MLO. As far as I can see, when you spawn in as MLO, you spawn into any random location that an MLO character or bad guy could spawn into the map as. They're just some general tips that will keep you ahead of the game, or you can share them with your friends so everyone is on the same playing field. Now here's some tips and tricks that will make the game just that little bit more fun. Now, so me and my buddies run no body armor, simply because SWAT will always spawn in with body armor if you have it equipped. MLO won't. Doesn't matter what you equip. So to have a fair playing field, me and my buddies just take off all body armor. Second thing is, I'd suggest creating some type of gun game, similar to what you see in Call of Duty. It just makes the experience just that much more fun. So for instance, me and my buddies, we do like a pistols and shotgun round, or we'll do an assault rifles and submachine gun round. So you guys pick the guns that you want to play when you want to play them. The next one is run small maps, especially when you're only running 2, 3, or maybe 4 people. Some of the maps like Rust Belt, Elephant really are really freaking big. So it can take a while to find your opponents or your friends to kill them. So I would suggest using smaller maps like Ends of the Earth and Thank You Come Again, simply because they're smaller maps. And it's a lot more fun because you get more engagement. Now for my last secret advice that makes this game just interesting and keeps you on the edge of your seat just that little bit more is going to be Brad, my good friend and streamer. He's the one that came up with this strategy. I'm going to let him tell you how to use the strategy, how to destroy and make chaos on the battlefield with your friends. So until next time, keep it real, and as always, get out there and start kicking ass.
Hey guys, Brad here. Ready Player 99 has asked me to show you my favourite sneaky tactic for Ready or Not PvP. The first step is locating an appropriate room. I'm looking for somewhere that I can plant the explosives and see the side of the door the enemy is going to walk through, whilst being far enough away that the blast won't kill me. So once you've got your charge set up, it's as simple as stepping back and letting your opponent walk right into it. I've found it works best to detonate as the player passes by the door. And just like that, you won a round without firing a bullet and your opponent's minorly upset.